How's it going out there, YouTubers? Cyberneticshark here with another new movie review for you. So let's get right into this review and see what it's about. So the other night I had the pleasure of checking out a newer movie that came out at the end of last year. And that is the film Lady Bird. Now, Lady Bird is kind of a contemporary slash kind of, film that takes place early 2000s. That kind of gives a little bit of a semi-biographical type of view of its director. It's not 100% true what happened in it, but it's somewhat some truth to it. Basically, is what's the director has said about it. Now, this film was definitely different, interesting, kind of fun. Had a lot of funny moments. Everyone acted very beautifully in it, and I thought it was a really decently cast film. Now, this film is directed none other and in her directorial debut, Miss Greta Gerwig. Now, this is her only directing credit, or solo directing credit, I should say. She has co-directed, she has co-written other films and so forth, but a couple movies I really enjoyed her in as an actress were such films as the awesome remake of the 1970s film, Arthur, which was a really fun film. I thought Russell Brand did a pretty good job. He's no Dudley Moore, but still I thought he was decent in it. But at the same time, I really liked Greta Gerwig's interpretation of, Liza Minnelli's character in the original film. I thought she was really decent at the character. I thought she was super funny, super hilarious, and just a really fun and funny, character in the film that really existed and worked really well with Russell Brand's Dudley Moore, basically, character from the original. Another film that Greta Gerwig is in that I really enjoyed her in and just thought was a great movie was Woody Allen's film from 2012 called To Rome with Love, which I thought was a really decent film. She didn't have a super huge part in it, but her small role was really funny and really hilarious and just a really good addition to the film. I thought it was very interesting how she played the character and portrayed it, and I thought that she was a really good addition to the film and made a really fun and interesting film. But with Lady Bird, I thought she directed the movie very well and very beautifully. She made a really awesome kind of semi-biographical, somewhat true film story about her life. And I thought she did a really good job of directing everyone, because everyone worked and meshed together really well. It was just a really fun film. And there was a lot, like I said, a lot of great scenes that I think that she really interpreted very well. And I thought she got really good chemistry out of her actors and actresses, and really brought the film together, and I can see now why it was nominated for Best Picture and why she got nominated for Best Director. Simply the fact that this is a fantastic directorial debut, and she did a really good job. I think that she has a good future in more directing films, and that she's going to do a really good job and be interesting to see, in that future aspect and what she can do with other films. So this movie has a really decent cast, really good actresses and actors that are just really awesome and really do well in majority of the roles that they've been in. To start off this awesome cast is none other than the main star, Lady Bird herself, Saoirse Ronan. Now, Miss Ronan has been in quite a few films. A lot of people recognize her from the film Brooklyn, where she was nominated for an Oscar for that film. She's been in a ton of other films like Hannah and Lovely Bones, that was directed by Peter Jackson and so forth. But a couple films I really enjoyed her in were such films as the awesome sci-fi film based on the book written by the same gal that did the Twilight series. The film The Host, which she plays the main hero character in the film. She was really fantastic in that. I really liked her character, how she perceived it, how she acted through the whole film. I thought she was a really good, semi-hero character slash kind of bad guy character at the same time. She just really played the role very well, and I thought she was a great asset to that movie. And I don't picture anybody else playing that character but her, simply for the fact that she did such a great job and was really awesome and really excellent in it. And just, it was a really awesome film, and I thought she was a great contributor to how good of a film it was. Another film that she was in that I really enjoyed and thought she was really good in was an awesome film based off a book as well and released by Disney back in 2008 called City of Ember, which was a really fantastic film. I don't think that movie got enough credit for how good of a film it was, but it had a great cast. I mean, you have Bill Murray in it. You had Martin Landau in it. It just was a really awesome and cool concept. And they beautifully brought it from the book to the screen and made it really fun, really interesting, and made it very good. I was really impressed by it, actually. I wasn't too sure how I was going to like it, or if I thought it was going to be good. But at the same time, I thought it was really decent and fun to watch. And I thought Cerie's character in it was really fantastic as well. And she really played the role very intensely, too. Because it wasn't really just like a family film. It was kind of an action-adventure film, too, at the same time, with a little bit of thriller in it. So I thought she did a really good job with that and bringing that character to life from the pages and giving us a great performance. But in Lady Bird, she played Lady Bird fantastically. Some of the scenes that she's in where she's, like, fighting with her mom and just, trying to experience life as a, high schooler just was really awesome. And I thought she did a really good job, and I really enjoyed it. Really fantastic film. Really good at her role, and I thought she really brought it and made it, interesting and fun, and she worked very well with all the characters involved. We also have in the film the awesome and amazing Miss Laurie Metcalf. Now, Laurie Metcalf, we all recognize her, of course, from the Roseanne show and its revival season of season 10 as well. She's been in a slew of different movies over the years and has been great, background actress. She's been a really good supporting actress. She's done lead actress. I mean, she's done pretty much everything you can think of. And she's always fantastic and really amazing and does such a great job. But a couple films I really enjoyed her in and thought were some of her best roles were such films as the awesome 1989 John Candy film, Uncle Buck. I absolutely loved her as Marcy, the next door neighbor. She was absolutely hilarious. One of the best scenes where they're dancing, and it's a close-up of her face, and she's like, and you cannot help laugh how funny she was. She was so good in that film, and super hilarious, and just was really fantastic, throughout the whole film. Her scenes that were in the film were really just perfect and pitch perfect, and just made the film even more enjoyable than John Hughes already made it. And even, she worked so well with John Candy, and they meshed so well together, and just made a fantastic film. Another film I really liked her in and thought she was a fantastic villain was none other than the 1997 sequel to the original Scream, Scream 2, where she plays Billy Loomis's mother, which I thought was a fantastic role for her. She played the role so well. She was so evil. She was so on point in just, the character was so picture perfect. She just was really amazing as a character. And that movie, I felt, really showed how good her acting chops really were. Nonetheless, that in Lady Bird itself, that's what she does again. She shows how good of an actor she is, and how she can play the comedy element, she can play the serious element, she can play the sympathetic, she can play the, non-sympathetic role. She is so good, and she's so versatile, and just does a really amazing job. She totally deserved the Oscar nom she got. Too bad that, Allison Janney won. She deserved her role too. But at the same time, I wish Laurie Metcalf would have won too, simply for that she was so fantastic in this film. And she's just a great actor and deserves to be recognized for how good of an actress she is. Just a fantastic role. She was so good in it. I loved her as the mother. I thought her and Saoirse Ronan, meshed together so well. And I thought her and Tracy Letts did a really good job together. And just everyone involved, she worked so well with everyone. And she just made that film very enjoyable and interesting. We also have in the film an interesting actor who has done a lot of writing over the years, has done a lot of stage plays. He's done a lot of that stuff, and he's not a really big leading man in films, but has done a couple. But that is Mr. Tracy Letts. Now, Tracy Letts is in a couple movies that I actually really enjoyed, and I didn't really recognize him in the film because I wasn't used to him having the full beard. So I was kind of watching him and going, who is that guy? He looks familiar, kind of, but not at the same time. I'm not sure who he is. And I'm just kind of going, who is that guy? And finally when I, saw that what his name was, and I'm like, oh my gosh, Tracy Letts. I'm like, holy crap. But two of the movies that he's been in that I really enjoyed as movies themselves, and his performance in them were real fun and interesting, were such films as the awesome 2017 film, or just released in January of this year, actually, but was, released somewhat back in December of last year, is the film with Meryl Streep and Tom Hanks, The Post. Now, The Post is just an amazing and awesome film, and he just did a really good job with it. I really liked his character in the film, kind of as her advisor in the film, Meryl Streep's, and he just played that character very well and to the T, and he just was a great asset to that combination of all those actors in the film, and, Steven Spielberg brought out that great acting talent that Tracy Letts has, and really brought, a great character and bringing to life and given, us people that didn't really know about this whole situation back in the 70s and giving us a whole new light to those characters and those people that were involved with this and what they had to go through. I thought he did a really great job presenting that character, giving us that, that person and persona, and let us know what that gentleman went through to, ensure that the Post keep going. And it was just a fantastic film, too, altogether. If you haven't seen that, check out my review about it. Such an amazing film. So good. So good. Another great film that Tracy Letts was in that I think is just a fantastic film, and is somewhat sequel to the film The Fugitive from 1993, is an awesome 1998 film called U.S. Marshals, which is the same character Tommy Lee Jones played in The Fugitive. But Tracy Letts is in this film and plays an interesting character. He's kind of like good and bad at the same time in the film, but he plays a really good role. And I really enjoyed his characterization, and he made the film very enjoyable and interesting. But his combination, of his character along with Tommy Lee Jones, Wesley Snipes, Robert Downey Jr., everyone involved in this film just did a really amazing job and made a really interesting and awesome kind of sequel to The Fugitive. I thought it was interesting that they brought back that character from The Fugitive, and so when they did, I was like really ecstatic because I really loved Tommy Lee Jones in The Fugitive and thought he was such a good actor in that. And I really appreciated Tracy Letts' character in the film, and he made the film very enjoyable too, along with everyone else that was involved. But in Lady Bird, I absolutely enjoyed him as the father of Lady Bird, aka Saoirse Ronan. And I thought he was fantastic. He was funny, he was like very timid, but at the same time he had a good side to him. He was very kind, but at the same time he had good thoughts. I just thought he was super hilarious in it, and I thought he was a really good addition to Laurie Metcalf's mother character, and they meshed so well together and made it such a funny film. And I thought Tracy Letts did a really good job with the film, and he was so beautifully directed by Greta Gerwig, and he really brought to life that character that she wanted to show us, that was kind of similar to her real life dad, and just how Tracy, really inspired that, role and gave us a whole interesting and awesome father figure, and really made the film very inciting and very fun to watch. So to round out this awesome cast, we have none other than Mr. Jonah Hill's sister in this film, who I did not realize was his sister until I did a little research on her. And that is Miss Beanie Feldstein, who is Jonah Hill's sister. So anyways, she actually has a couple movies. One I haven't seen, but the other one I've seen, and thought she was hilarious in it, thought she was fantastic, and totally did not realize she was related to Jonah Hill. At the same time, because she uses her actual name and Jonah doesn't. But at the same time, I just thought she's an awesome actress and comedian, and thought she was so fantastic in one of the films that I've seen, and I heard that she was pretty interesting in the other film. Now, one of those films is the film I haven't seen, and that film is called The Female Brain. Now, I'm not too familiar with this film. All I know is it's kind of a allegorical film about the female person, and just kind of, it's a whole mix of different female actresses in the film, and it has to do with, female thinking and stuff like that, and, about female personality and so forth. And from what I've heard, though, that Beanie's character in the film was really funny, and a part of the, funny element of the female brain, basically. And that she was really funny and interesting, and that she did a really good job in the film, and got her a lot of recognition for how good of a comedian she actually is. And that she, has some good acting chops on her, from what I've heard and what I've read. But at the same time, from the other movie that I've seen her in, which is an awesome and excellent sequel, that stars Zac Efron, Seth Rogen, Rose Byrne, Selena Gomez, etc., etc. And that is the film Neighbors 2 Sorority Rising, which she plays one of the sorority sisters that's in Chloe Grace's Mortize's house. And I thought she was absolutely hilarious in it, especially that scene where she goes flying through the windshield and she's like, "Beta rules!" and stuff like that. I absolutely think she's hilarious. And that movie really introduced me to her comedy element. And then she brought it once again into Lady Bird, which I thought. And I thought she was really good and sincere. She was like, a true like best friend to Lady Bird's character. And just was a really awesome asset to the film. I thought she was fantastic in the film. I really enjoyed her character. I really enjoyed her interaction with Saoirse Ronan, and I thought her interactions with, other characters that were involved were super funny and just fun. And she was just like so endearing, and she was a great part in addition to that film, and just made the whole film even more entertaining and fun and enjoyable to watch. So if you're not familiar with what Lady Bird's about, basically what the premise of the film is, it's basically about this high schooler who is about to graduate from high school, and basically the story is about her trying to get into an East Coast college when her mother and her parents don't really want her to, and they want her to stay around. And basically it's about her adolescent life, her growing up, basically, learning about love, learning about, family dynamics, about loving your home state or your home city, and basically, it's all involved in what really means the most to you and how important it is to you after you leave it behind. And pretty much that's what the whole premise of the story is. And just basically what she goes through her last couple months of high school up to her going to her, first month of college. And just basically what she, encounters and what, having to deal with her parents, having to deal with her best friend, people that she's interacting with, and so forth. It was a really interesting story. I thought it was very, very well directed by Greta Gerwig. I thought it was just a really interesting and fun kind of coming-of-age story. It was interesting that this is kind of loosely based on her real life. And just, all the interactions that happen in the film were just kind of interesting and fun, too, at the same time. And how it all actually, worked out, and how, enjoyable and entertaining the film was, too, as well. Another great couple of honorable mentions that are also in the film that have short parts in the film are such actresses as the Miss Gorgeous and Beautiful Miss Odeya Rush. And also, another great actor that was in this film that had a nice little short part was that gentleman that was in Call Me By Your Name, Mr. Timothy Collette, which I thought was, a great addition to the film, too. There are great other honorable mentions that were in this film, and just, I thought, did a really good job in the film, too. Gave us a little bit more of the story that we were going through, and just made the film even more entertaining as well. But that's it for this movie review, guys. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. And also, thank you for subscribing. And if this is your first time here, or if you've been here before and you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss one of these awesome videos I do, or any of the awesome videos I do. And as always, keep your eyes out for any older, newer videos you might not have seen mine yet. And as always, check out that awesome link down below about the awesome horror pack. Now, the Horror Pack is an awesome subscription service that comes to your door every month of awesome horror films. Now, each of these boxes you can either get 4 DVDs or 4 Blu-rays in that come each with the awesome limited edition you can't get anywhere else. So if you're a big movie collector, or if you're a big limited edition collector and like things that are like out of print, or things that are, very expensive to get because they're not, able to buy them somewhere, what better way to get that in your awesome low price of an awesome subscription service that you don't even have to leave the house for? So if you're interested in that, let me know down in the comments so I can hook you up with a discount. And as always, also check out that awesome new app called Stardust, people. You can either get it and download it on the awesome Google App Store or the Apple Play Store app, where you can watch either between 30 to 30-second little mini reviews of movies of any sort, even TV series as well. So especially if you're a big fan of Vine, or if you're a big fan of YouTube, what better way to even enjoy that more than getting this awesome app? And if you do download it, go ahead and follow me at the awesome link down below as well. And you will get credit for awesomeness of being a part of Stardust as well. That's right, people. Oh yeah, Stardust is awesome. And as always, catch you in the next one.